Okay, guys, we are back. This is the Taryn Lamb Show. I think we might have been having some technical difficulties. We are on season, I still didn't look and see what season we're on. We're on season 8, I think, episode number 10. So we are trying to figure out our technical difficulties. Again, this is the Taryn Lamb Show. I am here most Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. for my East Coast friends, and 5:30 p.m. Yeah, for my West Coast friends. So I'm trying to figure out. My guest was trying to come on, and let's try it again. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. Yeah, we're having like technical difficulties, and I don't know why. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Jen,
Okay, maybe.
there you are.
This is funny. It might have been my fault. Okay, that because the reception for whatever reason in my apartment is just terrible, terrible. So I just moved
Okay.
from one room to the next, and that seems to have worked. So because I can hear you loud and clear now.
Is Jen is Jen coming on too, or
I
is
have
she
no
just here
idea.
for the party?
Jen said the internet is broken.
Jen, are you coming on? Jen, are you coming on, or what's going on? Or one of your 5 children coming on? The
She
cat, the
definitely.
dog, anybody? What's up?
Think it's
Um, those boys,
right.
they probably want to come on.
I'm just here for the party.
She's just here for the party. Okay, okay. So Sid, when I asked you what you want to talk about, I was thinking about this, and I was like, you said patience and life. So now this patience thing, I wanted to delve into it because I didn't
I
say
did say
patience. You
patience.
said patience. So what the heck? What the heck is up with you? Something testing your patience. Today, guys, we're just talking about patience. Sydney wanted to talk about patience. That's the word she used. So here we are. And right, they probably booked the internet, the kids. So patience and life and living your best life. So tell me about this patience thing, because
Well,
what's
okay.
testing your patience?
So I finished my degree. Well, I finished all my coursework for my degree. And so
Here here comes
is that K
here
True?
comes you know who.
K True.
K True. You can put it up. It's Sydney. Shit. So she was already scheduled on my live show. Yeah.
I'm good. How
How
are
you doing?
you? Good.
Good. Good. Okay, so you
Yes.
finished your
So
coursework.
yeah, finished all my coursework. I
Sid
officially walk the
was
stage
a rock star in our
tomorrow.
class.
And so I just think
The principal, look, Jen says the
I
principal.
just I just think that,
Principal. That's
the
Demi. Knock it
process
up.
to getting to where I am today took a great deal of patience. And I say all that to say I think sometimes like we can want it like right now. We want the results like immediately because we're surrounded by everything that we can get immediately. We can get immediate results to Google
Mhm.
searches, we can get immediate food, like so I think that throughout these last like 2 years that it's taken me to finish my master's, like I'm tired for one, but two, I'm also just like grateful for the process because it has taught me patience and it's knowing that like there is something
Mhm.
at the end of the road and it's not always going to be that instantaneous thing. Like you're going to go through these trials and tribulations, but they're going to make you who you are today. And I just got so caught up in like the hustle and bustle. And that's another reason why I was like, that's why I want to talk about like living your best life, because I got so caught up in the hustle and bustle and trying to figure out like I got to do this, I got to do that, like all this other stuff that is so irrelevant. And so it was just like, you know what, like Sid, chill, like chill, take a step back and like really embrace the moment that you're in right now, because you're never gonna get this back ever again. So yeah, that was kind of like my my biggest thing. Like I really have learned it.
That's
What
pretty
you
wise.
say?
First of all, congratulations,
Thank you.
because you get to watch the thing.
Tomorrow.
You said tomorrow?
Tomorrow 3 p.m.
Congratulations.
Thank
Ah,
you.
congratulations. That's exciting. But those are wise words, because you do, right? We get caught up in that hustle and bustle of life, and we forget, like, enjoy these. Somebody's giving you hearts on that one. And you get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, and you forget, like, enjoy the moment, you know? Enjoy just this process, if you will, of getting here. And you're right, you're never going to get this time back. So no, you know, I was just telling someone today, it's like, you know, now, of course we all want to love what we do and we want to work and stuff, but no one ever says at the end of our life, man, she was just look, she worked all the daggone time, you know what I mean? How they, you know, they think about what you did, how you treated others, things like that. Hey, Yash. And you know, they never looked back and said, man, that person worked 90 hours a week every week, you know, like, look at her.
At all.
I have not heard that, you know. Yeah, at all, period. It's been a long time. I know it's been a long time. How are you? I'm good. I'm still here doing the show. But I think that's wise, Sid, of you to think that, or you to know that already, you know. And I hope that you can continue to, you know, take that along with you, because it is going to get, the race is going to get even faster, right? The race is always going to be throwing stuff at you that you have to dodge, and you have to, you know, I guess
dodge,
like, dodge and plan against and all that. Yeah, duck and dodge is the words I was looking for.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
No,
say too. Also, I was talking with my old boss, and he also, like, that's another reason what like sparked this conversation was because he said, because I saw him, he was working and working and working, and I was just like, bro, like, what do you do outside of like here? Because I know you're always here doing this, doing that. Like, I'm like, what else? He's like, oh, I'm in basketball leagues. I like to go out to dinner with friends. I got family here. I do this, I do that. And that's what initially really sparked the conversation for me. Because I'm just like you were saying, yeah, you're working like 90 hours or whatever, but it's like, okay, like, who are you outside of that? And I think, again, these past years, past 2 years, I've really started to like seek myself outside of that, because it can be easy to get caught up with like friends and family and trying to make sure that they're good, but it's just like, are you good? You know, how can you be good for yourself? I mean, how can you be good for other people when you're not even good for yourself? So I had that realization like last semester. I was over it. I was like this close to being like, yeah, that I'm good. I don't need my master's. I'm like, no, I can work. I can go and be an Instagram model. Like, I can go I can go do something else. This degree is not worth it. But then I was like, okay, let me take a step back. And I think he was asking what we were talking about. We're talking about patience and like living your best life. Yeah.
And then she says, keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep on
honestly,
keeping
that's
on.
what I had to do. And it was like a lot happened last semester. I mean, like, I'm in the middle of planning a wedding, like graduation, finishing coursework, family stuff, like so much happened. And I think I was so stronger after that. It was crazy. I didn't think that I was really capable of that. So I don't know. I say all that to say I really hope that, like, you know, people can take, you know, what I kind of just said and implement it into their own life. Because I swear, like, if I hadn't have had like the support system that I did, man, I don't even know.
So Sid, let me ask you a question. because I tell myself often, okay, T, take a step back. I got a million Tarans going on in my head, and you know I'm always doing 1,000 different things. So how did you take a step back? I know it sounds easy to say, but harder to do.
I had to like block, well, not like block everybody, but like I had to put my phone away. And so I got off social media for a little bit, for one, and that helped tremendously. And I journaled. I was continuously like journaling throughout that time and making sure to talk like with my mom. My mom, those who don't know that my mom and I are like best friends. So I told her, I was like, Mom, I need like some sort of peace right now because I'm not getting it. I have too much going on. I'm taking on too much onto my plate. And it's just like something's got to give. So yeah, I started to journal, and I just like really wasn't hanging out with anybody, and I was in my own like mental space, like praying and stuff like that. And then just making sure to like meditate and work out. And that kind of kept me like sane and level headed. And then people were like, my friends were like, we ain't seen you. Where you been at? Girl, busy. Working on me, trying to be better for myself so that I can be better for everybody else. So that's kind of like how I took a step back, and I just focused on like what was really in front of me, instead of thinking about like 5, 6, 7 years from now. I'm working on like what's going on right now and what's due today instead of what's due, whenever it's due.
Yeah, 10 years. So K True says the degree will work well for you. It will open up doors. Stay the course.
Really.
So yeah, I think that's so wise of you, and I think it's hard to do. We recently got Peloton, and one it says in the Peloton is location, and I remind myself, and as my location, I just put hashtag in the moment, and I put that because on purpose for what you just said, just making sure that when I do 20 minutes a day on the Peloton or whatever, however long I do on my Peloton, that I am not doing 10,000 other things. I'm not checking emails when I'm on the Peloton. This is my minutes a day to dedicate to myself. And just like you said, be in the moment and not worry about who's emailing me 10,000 things or what text messaging me 10,000 things. And I put in the moment so that I could look at that when I'm on the Peloton and say, Taryn, not that I could clip myself in and out of those things pretty fast, but don't get your phone. Don't look at your phone. Don't even set your phone in that little case there. That's supposed to be for your water. It's supposed to be for hydration. It's not supposed to be, for your phone. And it's early in the morning, most likely, or it's in the evening. So that phone will be there, And I think that's wise. And that took me a lot. And then, like, I'm always doing, like I said, 10,000 different things too. And I think it's good that you kind of caught on to that early to like take a step back and focus on, obviously you're focusing on completing, and you did, but also focusing on, taking back in the moment and being with the ones you love, right? Like, I think it's like, we all have a million, well, not all of us, but a lot of us have these, like you said, a million friends, but it's also making sure you're taking care of yourself and taking care of those that are taking care of you. K True says the CSCS is going to be a good look too.
That's another thing I got to worry about, but that's not right now. We'll get there.
Yeah, but you're preparing yourself for that with the classes and stuff, so it's also about preparation, right? Like taking that stress away. Sometimes it's about being prepared. Hey, Jordan. So Jordan, Sydney is our guest next week. So you have to come on and check her out. Jordan just came on. Yeah. So I think that it's like, having those goals, but it's also having the time to, commit to yourself. And like I said, with Jordan next week, she's definitely got some things to talk about. I've met her in the bodybuilding community. And when we talk about goals, right, we talk about setting our goals there, but we also talk about taking care of ourselves. And that's one thing I think that all three of us have in common is making sure that we work on taking care of ourselves, especially not that we don't think that our male allies should do the same, but especially as women, it's so important for us, take care of ourselves. What do you think, So what are some of the things, like strategies that you use that you think you're going to carry on into, do you think there's some things are going to go by the wayside? You think you're going to get back on, and be a social media maven? Or what do you think? What do you think you're going to do?
Definitely not a social media maven, that's for sure. I I think sometimes too much goes on social media, and I'm just like, I'll be scrolling, and the next thing you know, like 20 minutes goes past, and I'm like, okay, I could have been doing what I was supposed to be, So I think the most important thing for me is definitely just consistency. I think that's what I'll take. That's my take all. One of my many takeaways from it. But consistency, I think, is the biggest thing, because like that consistent amount of effort goes such a long way, and that can be applied to like any aspect of life, because whether that's like setting goals, you have to be consistent with that. And whether it's like, okay, I want to read this book, I'm going to read this book in X amount of time, whatever the case may be, consistency is the most important thing for me. So yeah.
Stay in the, like K2 says, stay in the course, being consistent. What was the hard part about taking a step back?
The hardest part about taking a step, wanting to be involved. Like, I remember, I like told my mom, I was like, okay, I got to take a step back. But then like things would be going on with them, and I'm like, ooh, I want to know. And then Chris would be like, you need to calm down. Like you need to focus on what's in front of you right now. And he is the biggest help. He'll probably join in like a second here, but yeah, I think that was the biggest thing, like not wanting to be trying not to be involved when my presence wasn't necessarily needed, because for me and like the role that I play in my family, I'm like the liaison between like or the mediator, whatever the situation may be, whether it's between like my mom or my brothers or my dad, like whoever the case may be. I'm always one that's like, okay, we need to make sure that we're here. We need to make sure that we're, whatever the case may be. Or like, so-and-so said this, and I didn't appreciate the way that they said it. And so it was just like, okay. So that was a big step for me. And I just had to like, okay, I would always like take a deep breath and be like, I can't do anything about it. So therefore, we're going to chill. So.
Right. Therefore, I'm not. So you guys, this is the Taryn Lamp Show. I think I'm in season 8. I forgot, actually. But we've been a lot of episodes and a lot of seasons. I think I'm in season 8, episode 10. We're talking patience, all about living your best life, but most of all about patience. Stay in that course and staying committed and taking care of yourself. Sydney she will be walking tomorrow with her master's degree, so we are so proud of her. So proud. But she's also learning how to take a step back and how to make sure she's focusing on being in the moment and taking care of herself. And I think that's, definitely wise beyond your years. But I also get it. Like, I get that whole trying to make sure everybody's happy and trying to make sure everything's copacetic and everybody's chill. And one thing I've done now, what about this? This plays a big role in my happiness.
Sleep. You can't do anything without sleep. I love sleep so much. You can't do anything. You cannot function without sleep. That's something else I've also been doing a lot more too. I'm like, I have, like, I'll tell my friends like, hey, I can't go. I got to be back at this certain amount of time because you're going to be tired.
I know.
So yes, I feel you. Sleep is super important. My professor was actually talking about that like a couple weeks ago. I think we all neglect sleep.
I do not neglect sleep. I could go to bed right now and sleep until the morning and sleep like the soundest child ever. Like, sleep
it's 8
loves
o'clock,
me. And
so
loves
what
sleep.
You mean?
I could totally go to sleep. I could get in the bed right now and go to sleep and be asleep and wake up the next morning. Like, not wake up in the middle of the night. Like, totally. If you let me, I'm one of those who would sleep. Let me. But I do think it's important, right? It's important in our mental health, and it's important in our physical health and our emotional health and all those things. And so I was just wondering if that played a role in your stepping back.
You know what?
Getting some more sleep.
It did play a bit of a role.
Or since you were
What
studying,
what'd you say?
that may not, right? Since you were studying,
Oh my
since you were
goodness.
studying.
Like, yeah, I think that was better. Like, there was a couple times I almost pulled a couple all-nighters, but then, like, I think I told myself, I'm like, okay, you're going to be better off going to sleep because you're not going to retain any of this information. So why are you wasting? I actually took that piece of advice from one of my good friends from undergrad. I was used to like stay up all night, like studying and stuff. My problem was, so back to like the preparation piece that we were talking about, you got to prepare. I stopped doing that. So instead of like during undergrad, I had a terrible habit of like, oh, we got an exam coming up on Tuesday. Okay, I'm gonna start prepping for it on Monday. Nah, that's not how you do that. Yeah, no, that's not how you do that. I still did great though, but I'm saying like as far as there were a couple times this semester I was like, okay, need to stay up, gotta grind it out. Let me get some coffee or let me get this little Celsius drink so I can stay up and push through. But it was like ultimately I wasted my time essentially because it's just like I could have gotten sleep because I wasn't as alert, like I wasn't as focused. So it was like I had to stop doing that. So sleep is our number one recovery. It should be our number one form of recovery.
Yeah,
It is.
Jordan says sleep is life, and I agree. Sleep is where it's at. So guys, we've talked about living our best life, but most importantly, taking care of ourselves, having patience. And I think actually I've gotten out of this too. At first I thought, okay, when we first got patience, just patience with like people and patience with, being, like you said, kind of staying in the moment, all that good stuff. But it's patience with ourselves, right? It's patience understanding ourselves and where we are in this process, right? Because we could get so anxious about ourselves and we could get so anxious about the process that, to your point, we forget about the moment. So it's patience in a lot of different ways, with ourselves and with those around us and with our circumstances, and whether it be with our classes, with our degree, all those different things helps you move in that path of just living your best life, right? And happiness. I think one of the things when you mentioned to me what you want to talk about being happy. So it sounds like these things are leading you to not just a best life, but a happier life.
I would definitely say that, absolutely, because when things are just, disarray, just like completely out of whack, like how can you be content with that, And I know in life you should never be content, but I mean, you should be content to a certain extent, And I think that I found that through all that, especially from last semester, I'm like, I'm good now. I'm good. I know how to balance these things. I know that I'm capable of it. So, yeah. I would say now I'm happy, especially because I got that weight off my back with this degree.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, right? Like a bear. I said I never wanted to read again unless it was for fun. I swear. I have something else that I might be doing soon, but I did say, as far as like getting another master's or bachelor's or PhD, like I don't even want no parts of it. I'm not even gonna lie to myself. I might be doing something soon, something I'm not gonna reveal yet, but I think that's forward to doing. But I am not. It is not getting a PhD. I can guarantee you that.
Look, I'm gonna say I applaud those people. I truly do, because writing, what's it, the dissertation? Yeah, no.
Is that?
Yep. No.
Sounds good. I know. Not right.
I'm good.
I am not. So you guys, this is the Taryn Lamb Show. We started a few minutes late, so we're gonna give Sid like 2 or 3 more minutes here because we started a few minutes late. What else, Sydney, do you think that now you're gonna do? I mean, now you're gonna have some time on your hands, right? Or what's the deal?
Man, I gotta plan this wedding. Everything that I wasn't doing during the semester, we gotta plan this wedding. Luckily, the wedding though is next year, so we have like a year and a month. Yeah, a year and a month until we tie the knot. So I'm gonna like put 10 toes to that because I still need to find a dress. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that I got to take care of that I was kind of putting on the back burner. But I also really want to like get back into my hobbies and stuff. I want to travel. I'm gonna go visit my cousin in a couple days, so I'm very excited about that. Spend more time with the family and friends, and just explore Chicago while I'm still living here. So yeah, I really want to embrace that. I want to like relive my childhood and go back to like the summertime shy days. Nothing beats summertime in Chicago. So that's what I'll be doing.
I tell people all the time, like, Chicago, to me, I always say this is a tough city to move to for a myriad of reasons. Especially if you lived in the coastal cities, it's a tough city because everybody has their roots here. That's a whole nother story. But like when people like that whole summertime shy thing, it's not just like a moment time. It is an experience.
No, for real.
It's just in the summer. There's no better city.
It's so hard to describe that to people that aren't from here. They just don't get it. And like I don't fault them at all, but like they're growing up and stuff, like going to the lake, going to the museums, Taste of Chicago, like concerts, like Michigan App. Come on, like there's just so much to do. So it's amazing. And I'm going to go see Beyonce this summer, so she's gonna be at Soldier Field.
She is. Oh, they're good. Oh, I probably passed right over them because the tickets were like $10 million. I think I did hear about them, but I was like, is she serious? Like, I was
no. See, what I'm gonna tell you, no. So initially, tickets were pretty expensive, but I didn't pay that much for mine. Granted, it's nothing elaborate. I'm not sitting like front row or nothing like that. I'm just trying to be in the building. That's all. That's it. That's all. I just need to be there.
I saw Usher.
Wait, did you go to Vegas? Really I'm jealous. I'm really jealous.
It was really good.
I really want to go see him.
It was great. Yeah, you have to see him. I mean, he's like Beyonce, I guess. I who knows? Maybe he's like a once in a lifetime.
So. Like Beyonce's on my bucket list. I might just put Usher on there. I think I got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, well, guys, we are 5 minutes over, but Sydney came on a little late. Sydney, I truly appreciate just sharing your updates. I mean, it's I really applaud you for taking some time to take care of yourself. I know we're all on this text message group, guys, so we all joke around and actually act total stone cold fools. But I am proud of you. I'm proud of all you've accomplished. I'm proud of you for taking care of yourself. I don't know if Jen's still on, but we look forward to being flower girls in your wedding and all that good stuff. We presented. We're going to Photoshop ourselves into your pictures, even if we're not actually. We'll Photoshop ourselves at some point during your picture. We'll be in touch. But I just really thank you. And yes, and Jordan says congratulations on your degree. Yes, absolutely, congratulations. Everyone's so proud of you, and we look forward to bringing you back on in another year and letting us know how you're doing. And tell Chris we said what's up.
He said,
"Oh, Chris, what about your patience? You've got a lot of patience, eh? Tell us about your patience."
Ooh, his patience. Oh boy.
My patience.
I know he's shy.
He said like patience.
What did he say?
Like patience. We were talking about patience and living your best life, being
Living
happy.
your best life.
I do that every day.
He said, "Oh, I do that every day."
But see, that's what I'm saying. It is interesting how our male allies think about that, right? Like he's like, "What do you?" Yeah, absolutely, indeed. And we're like, "Oh my gosh, how do you get that? How do you get that?"
Yes.
You know, like we're around like chaos. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you mean like patience? I do that all the time.
T,
Like,
when I tell you he is so like
They-
chill, like 24/7, like nothing really, he don't let stuff bother him. I'm like, yeah, I need to get more like that.
yeah, how did you get there?
He he said there's no point.
Getting worked up.
There's no point in getting worked up. He swallowed like talking from a distance.
I'm like, how do you get there without alcohol? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Here, he decided to join the
Or
conversation.
something. I don't do anything. Chris, how do you stay there? How do you stay here?
Don't not letting stuff get to me.
And how do you do that?
Just staying. I mean, I don't know. It's just who I am.
Yeah, so-
I don't let stuff get to me because at the end of the day, it's not going to impact my life probably the day after.
Mhm.
So there's no point. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not the problem. I know that sounds very messed up, but I'm not the problem.
Well, we're gonna say that we're not the problem. We cannot
Nah.
possibly be the problem. So
When you walking with God, you're not the problem. It's the other people.
okay, I'm with you when you're walking with God. I'm with you on that part. And even I think sometimes I might be the problem, but the good news is I do have God on my
That's
side
right.
to kind of work out my problem. You know what I mean? So I do agree with that, but sometimes I'm like,
That's why I was like 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10.
Oh boy. But yeah.
well, I'm gonna go with,
Mhm.
what's today? May 9th. From May 9th on, I'm gonna go with Christmas motto. 9 times out of 10, I'm not the problem.
Period.
It worked. It works. Don't just give yourself like an hour to cool down, and it won't affect you at the end of the day. Stuff don't even be a big deal for real.
This is my future husband.
And he doesn't have confidence. Like, yeah, stuff just won't be. But that's how my husband is too. My husband's like super chill at all times. And sometimes I'm like, react.
Mm-hmm.
If it needs a reaction, I'll react. Like, she knows if I got to handle something, I'll handle it.
Yeah. Well, Tara, we got to get up. You, me, Chris, and K True, we got to get up and get something going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if K True is still on here, but for sure thing. Absolutely. We will definitely do that.
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up.
Well, thank you both for joining me. Thank you both for sharing. Oh, yeah. See, K True's still on. He said he's good with it. I get that little hand. So thank you so much, Chris, for joining us. I am going to go with I'm not the problem, and I'm signing off. I am not the problem.
See you, T. Thank you.
Bye-bye.